pretty awesome today, which is amazing. And I wanted to share some of the fun insights or thoughts or whatever I've had since dealing with the blood clot in my heart and being forced to relax. Number one, I learned I need a diary. I have had years and years and years of diaries, but for the last few years, I haven't felt super great, and I have a bunch of semi-diaries, and of all times that I need to remember more is now. And so I did start a diary. Here are some of the cool things, okay? So I learned that they have Reader's Digest on Kindle from different countries. I grew up on Reader's Digest. I love Reader's Digest. I will never not subscribe to Reader's Digest. And I found out I can get it on a Kindle online, different countries, which is so cool because I love it, because then you can understand other countries' cultures by what they read also. So cool. I can't subscribe to all of it right now. We gotta wait. We got a bunch of co-pays and whatnot going on. But after that, I'm subscribing to all the different Reader's Digests. So that was one thing, is writing my gratitude list. Yes, I have many more things to be grateful for. One amazing thing happened. I got the courage to finally tell my son's school that I have health issues. I know it sounds silly because I talk on YouTube and talk to people about it. I've had such a weird feeling about it. I didn't want my son labeled as the kid with the mom with an issue, or you know what I mean? It was my issue. I didn't necessarily want it to be his, but quite frankly, it does affect him. And it's finally gotten to a point where I'm just in a rough spot. I was having to take him, from going to school and saying, you have to stay home, mom can't drive today, or, I just simply didn't feel good enough. Now that's unfair. He needs a social life. His teacher was so sweet. Number one, she's always been amazing. And sorry, still having problems breathing. She wrote me an email and she's like, how is your son? I'm like, oh my gosh, you know what? I'm just going to tell her. This has gone on too much. And I said, he's actually okay. It's me. I explained my situation and kind of left it at that. Later, I got an email from her and she's like, let me talk to you later. I'm like, okay. So I called her later after I told my husband that I'd let her know what was going on. And she gave me so many resources and help and love and kindness. I ended up crying on the phone. I mean, sometimes you need the kindness. And honestly, as a mom, it sounds weird, but when people are good and kind to my son especially, it's almost even better than being kind to me, It's huge. She gave me different options, and she talked to some of the other mothers in my son's school, and they were able to help. They're going to help bring him home from school, which is amazing. I had to go to the neurologist the other day. We would have kept him home from school simply because he didn't have a ride home. And here I have these people, I don't really know them that well, and their kindness is not as infrequent, or it's just there. It is there, and sometimes we just have to embrace it. I know my husband had a hard time accepting, all these things from people, and I understand where he's talking about, but I told him, I've had a life of trying to be a giver and of service, and I loved doing it, and if someone were in this position, I would do it in a second. Let's give them the opportunity to feel that also. I'm also grateful for my mom being here and helping us. My mom's 80. She's not a young chick, right? And this woman is whooping our butts, keeping us in line, helping us, taking care of us, entertaining my son. She's super smart and funny, and it has been an absolute blessing for her to be here for us. I love her. She's zany. I mean, oh my goodness. Anyway, it is amazing. I had some serious talks with my husband. He, it's not always comfortable when people are in these situations. And I still sometimes, I'll have these moments where I'm like, what am I doing here? Panic, holy moly, what a miracle. I don't know, just a shock in my soul, holy crap, I am so lucky. on an unlucky situation, but extremely, truly blessed and very, very, very lucky. And with that extreme lucky feeling, it makes you have to realize the things that you are grateful for and you want. So my husband, it's hard for him to have to see me, and honestly, they have to step up in ways that they haven't had to before. I like to clean, I like to get things done, and all of a sudden, like, I'm literally not lifting the garbage cans and things like that, and it's different. You know, things have changed, so they are stepping up in, you know, different ways. Thing I've also known has been, you know, for anyone who has an illness, is sometimes when you're ill, you have a thing where you have to comfort others. And I do try and be aware of that, and I do try and comfort them, because I have sat there worried about people. One reason I'm continuing to do videos is I know that when I have a friend who's not feeling well, I spy on their Facebook. I totally do. And I'm like, what are they doing now? What are they doing now? And quite frankly, they're probably just healing, but I still want to know how they're doing, you know. So I am trying to be cognizant of my own curiosities and helping others. One thing is we did talk about future and dreams. And I said, just wait, when all of this clears, like maybe this is like the big grand blessing I've needed to just clear out. I'm so sick of being sick. Maybe this is like, and on, and it'll be amazing, right? So one way I'm comforting the poor guy is letting him know that soon enough after this clears, I'm going to be out doing some early morning gardening. He hates it. He totally hates that. But you know how sometimes there are things that annoy you about someone, but when they don't do them anymore, you're like, wait a minute, right? I know it drives him nuts, but I also know that he misses me driving him nuts, going out early morning gardening, things like that. I haven't done it forever, and I look out that window and I see those leaves and I see these things, and I'm like, oh, one day. So I have a dream. My dream is to go get dirty and clean out there, right? So it's nice to dream of the simple things that truly mean. For my poor husband to know I will be driving him absolutely insane in a few months when this clears out and we're working on more positive and healthy things. Other thing is, I like to make jokes when I feel like crap. It's how I function. It's how I deal. I mean, you can laugh or cry sometimes, right? And so I've seen like a little video of, well, the scan, and I did a little video of it, and you can see it's so, I get grossed out, but you can see the little clot like bouncing. So weird, right? And so I made my own joke, and I'll tell you. So essentially it says, although I am not an athletic person, apparently my heart is, because it's playing basketball all day. It was much better when I wrote it and I said it to my sisters, who gave me a kind laugh. Whatever. I just try and make things a little bit better and send jokes and silliness, because that is how I cope with things. I need silly for reals. Yeah, you can cringe. And one more thing that I'm excited about in this downtime of trying to be positive and all this, like there's a million other things. I'm sure I'll think of them as soon as I finish this video, because that's what happens, right? I got to wear a muumuu, and I know it's, sorry, I'm having a hard time breathing lately. So one thing is I know I did a video a little bit ago about difficulty in wearing a bra. To me, it's majorly making sense now, seriously. I'm still wearing a bunch of loose things, but the first few days were especially difficult on me, like just really tight and really crappy. I'm graduating too. So I got to wear a super loose shirt thing, like a muumuu, and it was amazing, and I could breathe and I felt good. And I was beyond excited to wear a big, fat, loose clothing and not have, I don't know, any issues with it. It was very nice. There are a lot of good things if we look for them. I'm still scared. I'm still working on things, but I'm choosing to do the very best I can in a situation that is driving me slightly crazy. And I'm so grateful to be here, like so grateful. Like sometimes it really just shocks me. So anyhow, I just hope that you can all know I'm checking in. I'm letting you know there are some good things, and live your life. Be happy. If you can, read the Reader's Digest online. Be grateful for your neighbors. My neighbors have been awesome, and I will tell you more about that in the next happy video, because I'll just tell you right now, my neighbors are amazing. I got a text from my one neighbor, and she's like, "Can I bring you dinner?" I'm like, "Yes, that would be awesome." I'm a horrible cook, so I mean, she could bring us a banana and I think we'd be happy. It's just, actually, she didn't even have to bring it. It was just the idea that she reached out. My other neighbors have been all reaching out and been kind. Blessings. And people are generally kind, and I hope we can focus on that. Anyhow, wishing you all health and happiness, and gratitude for every moment in your life. Thank you so much for your love and support, and I'm going to keep trying to be in contact. Terrible at email still, but trying. Thank you.